with us.
All right, folks, good evening. And I've got Gila Jed back on the channel tonight. One of my great friends, and we've met and talked a bunch over the years. And she's back on the channel tonight. And we've got some things to talk about tonight, kind of to clear the air a little bit about certain things. And let me silence my phone here so we're not distracted. Before we get to talking, just want to say, I'm sure we'll talk about financial stuff tonight, but me and Gila are not financial advisors and we're not giving financial advice. We're only merely sharing with you what we personally are doing and are interested in. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Gila, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you. Last time we talked, the last time we did a show was 6 months ago, back in September. So a lot of things have happened and I haven't, I watch your videos and keep up with you, but I still we haven't talked every day. So how have you been doing? What's going on in your life?
Oh, I'm really good, Tracy. I just want to say that I feel like I've known you my whole life. I feel so comfortable with you. Our souls just merged together so beautifully. You're such a calming force in the world. And I view you as one of the great humanitarians to be, because you just have such a beautiful spirit. And I just love your energy.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, I can't believe it was 6 months ago, Trace. That's great. That's like a lifetime.
Yep. And I understand you had a new addition in your family and I didn't hear all the details. Tell me what happened.
So my daughter had a baby February 1st.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. I just brought up a picture. I don't know if you can see it now. It's too
a little
blurry.
bit. Yeah. It was a boy or girl?
He's a boy. His name is Avery. Not clear, but
whoa. What's the name? What's the first name?
Avery.
That's Avery. My son's name. That's my son's name. I swear to you. I swear to you.
That's crazy.
It's
a great name.
Yeah, I've got 2 boys and my oldest name's Avery. So.
And what's the other one?
Andrew.
Oh, 2 A names. Beautiful.
Yeah, 2 A names. So.
That's crazy. We have that in common now.
Yeah. So you're a grandma now, right?
I'm a grandma.
So have you got a grandma name yet? Every grandma has to have that unique name. Has Gila Jed have a grandma name?
So it's either I'm going to go with the Hebrew, which is Safta,
okay,
or the Yiddish, which is Bubby. I'm still undecided.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Or you could be G Mama, something like that.
Hey, I kind of like that.
Pretty good. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So yeah, last time we talked 6 months, a lot's changed. Let's just go right there, right out of the gate. The elephant in the room right now, Trump being arrested. What is your take on that?
So I heard Bosi, I forgot his first name, the Australian Parliament guy who I love, who's so articulate and brilliant. He's saying this is all priming. And this is the theory that made the most sense to me of all the things I saw floating around.
Yep.
This is consciousness priming to get people. Oh, what was the example he gave? Oh, that they raided Mar-a-Lago. And then he said, and then all of a sudden everybody became okay with going through the residence information because they just did that to Mr. T. And it's true. He goes, the first time the people freak out, and then the second time it happens, nobody freaks out because they're used to it. So if they arrest somebody, and everyone will freak out, get that out of the way, and then whatever arrests come after that, it'll just be normal. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all the truther people know that it's fake to us, but to the unwoke, I don't know what they're thinking. But because there's probably a lot of people who are not truthers or woke or whatever, but like Trump, they're probably going to freak out because their guy.
You know what's funny, Trace, that they're asking me, but I have people like staff in my office. They're like, "Is Trump kidding?" Like they're coming to ask me if I know anything. I'm like, "Nah, that's fake news."
Well, that's good that they're coming to see you.
Take it as a good sign.
What is that? What's that little saying? When the crap hits the fan, seek your nearest conspiracy theorist. Yeah, that's what they're doing because they know you're knee deep in it.
Yeah, and it's truly my pleasure. Like I want to give comfort, and I can't wait for that time, Tracy, where we're just like it's all going to be okay. The white hats are in control.
Oh yeah, and they've been in control, and this is, just another part of the puzzle for us. But for the world,
Yes.
it's just optics. It's all it is.
Oh, and I've had a ton of people, non-truther friends calling me about the CBCD. They're so scared about it. I'm like, guys, that is part of the movie and it
Yeah.
calms them down.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that too. I've got kind of a lot of things I just wanted to touch bases tonight in different areas, but on the medical side of things, I was recently in a theta chamber. You saw that
I saw,
info, and that was
I
pretty
saw
cool.
it.
But
Yeah.
what for you? I mean, what do you do before we get to this med bed thing that's coming down the road? What kind of things are you doing from a health standpoint? Because some people are doing the wand, and some people are like me getting in the theta chamber. What are you kind of doing?
So I went a few times to the Energy Enhancement Center. Dr. Sandra Rose Michael's
Yeah,
technology is scalar for,
yeah.
and it's still a little bit far. So I would go more frequently if it was closer, but I experienced that and that was wonderful. I tried ASEA for a while, but I have commitment issues. Like I just can't do something every day. I
Is
have
that
problems with that.
technology you're talking about? Is that the box thing that has the light, funky looking light?
ASEA is like a drink. It's like
Oh, you're drinking the water stuff.
yeah, it's from Mr. Trumptastic. He talks about it a lot, and Guru talks about it. It's something to reset some on a cellular level. I don't even know, but I tried that for a while, and that made me feel good. And trying to eat healthier, trying to eat less meat. I'm just trying to watch what I put in my body and on my body.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
natural
Me
stuff.
too. I've actually
How
lost.
did you feel after that? What?
Felt good. I've lost some weight, so I feel good. But yeah,
How'd you
after
do it?
that bed was very interesting. I mean, you get in the bed, they put this, it has like four different technologies in one bed. It does light uh energy with glasses you put on that are flashing lights, and the lights are going with the music that you're listening to. You're listening to binaural beats, and they say that your
Mm,
ears hear different tones, but your brain hears one tone. So they're trying to match up, your ears to your brain, and then the light to the sound. And you actually even talk in this little microphone for like, I don't know, a minute, just saying random words, and the audio you hear matches up to your tone of your voice. So it's pretty sophisticated. And then they put these little electrodes on your earlobes, kind of like a TENS unit. I don't know if you ever heard of that or not, but a lot of
yeah.
chiropractors use it for muscles and stuff. And but they put them on your ears, and you really can't feel it. It's very low frequency. And then, of course, when you get in the bed actually spins. They call it vestibular action. And just the combination of all that together, if you go a lot, I only went for like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. So it was just like a new customer special kind of thing I did. But I fell asleep. I was asleep probably 70% of the time, like in a theta state, they call it. Because I woke
Ooh.
up and I said, man, I wonder how long I've been in here. And then 2 minutes later, the thing shut off. She was like, no, you
Uh,
you were sleeping. And I've been sleeping every night really well, a lot better. I mean, it's not like, I'm 20 years old again, but and I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting
are
med.
we the same age, Chris? How I'm 47.
No, I'm
We the
older than
same?
you. No, mine
You
starts
look
with a
really
five.
good.
Mine starts with a five.
You
56. I'm
look good.
56.
Oh,
So,
you look really good.
but after the med bed, who knows how old we're going to be, or how,
Well,
how
how'd
old?
you, I know, however old we want. How did you, what age would you go to? If you could pick an age to go to?
21. I don't know. I
That
mean,
young?
no, I mean, I think we're going to be the same age. It's just how we're going to feel. You're going to feel like a 20-year-old or a 15-year-old or however. I don't know how that's going to work. It's age regression. So, I mean, I think it's like a lot of what a lot of people say. Your body is a great healer, but there's some things, I guess, because of damage and pollution and air and water and things we've ate, things we drink. There's just certain things that we need to get cleared up in our body. And the med bed's going to help bring all that back together, and it'll basically get our body back to working like it was when we were a way early age, and that's going to be really
Yeah.
good. And I hope it cures all these diseases people have. And you go out in public like I do, and you see people you know go into the grocery store, and they have to get a thing to write in to get their groceries. I mean, it's just sad to see people like that
Yeah.
can't walk and can't do this and can't do that. I'm tired of it. And I hope I earn a lot of income from all this stuff. And I want to be able to buy like 100 med beds, 1,000 med beds. I want to flip the lights on and come on in, folks. We're going to heal you right now. That's
You
what
give me the chills because this is what I mean when I say your heart is so pure,
I want to do
so
that.
beautiful.
That's one of my goals. So I'm going to seriously have a conversation with those guys at the wealth talk that we're going to have with these folks. And they're going to say, what do you want to do? What kind of project? Here's what I want to do. So I'm thinking big. I want to do some big stuff.
Beautiful.
But no, I do, I do vitamins and minerals, and I actually do grounding. I don't know if you ever tried grounding, but I have grounding products at night that I sleep on, like a bed sheet that you got to make sure your house is grounded properly. But once you do that, then I have a sheet that I lay on every night, and man, it's unbelievable, because when I don't sleep
I
on
have
it,
the same thing. I do
yeah,
it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
love
put
it.
my
I
feet
love it.
on the ground, but it's getting warmer outside. I plan to put my feet on the ground more, and
Mhm.
it helps
The
a
best
lot.
thing, the best thing I heard is go to the beach. The beach and the sand, the wet sand is the best thing, because a lot of people don't realize when they go on vacation, hey, I just feel better. When I go on vacation, I'll feel better. Well, what are you doing all week? You got your feet in the dirt, you got your feet in the sand, you're grounding like we're supposed to. But if you live
Right.
in cold conditions, like New York is cold in the winter, you can't go out there every night and barefooted.
Yeah.
And, so why not utilize these products that are going to make you feel better? And there's a lot of them out there. They have things that you could put on your elbow, on your knee. There's patches that you could put specific places on your body and ground all night long. I just chose to buy the biggest thing, and I get on it and lay on it all night long and ground and heal my body. It actually takes you to a negative state. So it's actually reducing all of the energy that you had pent up in your body all day, because our bodies are electrical. So, and we're not really meant to be around computers and all this digital stuff. Our bodies is not designed like that. So this is
No.
helping get rid of that pollution in your body and get you back to a good, normal state where your organs and your brain and blood and everything's working properly. So grounding to me is very key. Financial. Let's go to the financial. We were talking before the thing, and you mentioned the word CBDC. And there's been a lot of talk about that lately. What's been your experiences hearing that from people?
I just hear fear, they're like, oh no, is it going to be one of those digital passport, control your life and every move that happened in China? People are terrified of that. And that's where I say, Tracy, that in the beginning, why I'm so drawn to the financial aspect of the awakening is because I understood innately that the money will get their attention, and it's happening now. I knew this a year ago when I made my lobster wallet. I said, whenever it comes to pass that the money comes to the mainstream news, everybody who ignored everything until now, pretended nothing was going on, they'll be like, what? And it's happening. People are saying, uh-oh, what is happening? Am I going to have my money locked at a bank because I didn't, I ran a red light? Is it gonna be tied to my behavior? So it's scary as heck for the normies, and I think that it's a good thing.
Yeah. And I kind of thought, I listened to a lot of Charlie Ward, and he supposedly is a spokesperson for the ISO or the QFS team. And he's always saying, they have to release the CBDC so people can actually see it, see what it looks like, see what kind of bondage you're still going to be in if you accept it and do it. I think the white hats allowed them to release it
Right.
just to be there, but I'm not doing it. So,
Oh no.
we know better than that.
Yeah. And my friend Colin O'Brien, he says, this event, whatever it is, or it could be multiple events, has to leave such an indelible impression and imprint on humanity that we never go back. And I think it's all part, it has to be such an imprint of fear, which is unfortunate that people couldn't wake up otherwise.
Thousands of years we've had I think the imprint's going to be pretty indelible.
I don't, do you have any idea what that's going to be, Trace?
We don't.
No,
Because we've
nobody
never been
knows.
there. It's like you've been led down your life. You've got that. I've heard people do an analogy of back in the day when we had CD-ROMs and you burned data into a CD. Our CD was burned from day one in a satanic world. Them stealing our birth certificate. I mean, from day one, as soon as
That's
you
a
come
great
out,
analogy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we have been lied to our whole life. We've been manipulated. We've been debt slaves all our life. We're not going to know what to do. It's going to be like,
We need a civilization reboot.
I think the med bed's going to help with that. I think the
Amen.
med bed's going to help us get our brain to a state where it can wrap our minds around, we're not there anymore. We're here. You know, we're not in that old state of mind and
Right.
that old system, that old satanic system. I don't know if you saw this. I know you've been on the website. The US debt clock is now showing US Treasury dollars under money creation,
Right.
which is pretty new. That's pretty neat. So I saw that today. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the big thing, the thing that's behind me, XRP and XLM. That's been a fight. And I've heard people just this week on our truther group, you know, truthers on this side, truthers on that side. You know, I've seen people fighting amongst us, and we shouldn't be. But I basically heard XLM is going to be the one, the only one, and XRP is going to be nothing, basically. And then I've heard other people say total opposite. What's your take on that?
I think both will have tremendous utility. I think that I think what we've always been told is that XRP will be the institutionalized coin to move the big money between countries. XLM will be the, person to person, peer to peer. That makes sense. That sits well with me. And Tracy, I was telling you this before, I could hear the argument both ways. I listened to Emily talk about how the valuation is going to be low. And that argument kind of made sense because the prices are going to come down low. So how could you have a coin that's way out of proportion to what the daily prices of life will be? But then I thought it's not going to be, XRP is not going to be the daily coin. So maybe it does need to stay big to move the big money. So, and that's Mel Carmine's argument that all the money on the planet has got to be moved by X amount of coins, and it's a small number. Right. So I honestly, when I listen to one, I'm like, wait, that makes sense. I'm like, but that makes sense. So I'm really torn. What do you think?
I don't know what to think. I think I kind of agree with both sides, and I disagree a little bit with both sides. One side is a group of people saying XRP is going to go to the moon. Even one guy says $500,000 a coin, somewhere in that range. I can't see that. I can't see that much on XRP per token, but I don't think it's going to stay here at 39 cents. If you're going to take all of the finances of the world, including bank created money, M1, M2 money, derivatives, real estate, everything that you can think of, it's going to be in the quadrillions. I don't know what the quadrillion number is, but it's up there. But if XRP is going to have to be there to swap all that money over from the old system to the new system, I know it's not going to be 39 cent XRP. It's just not. I don't believe it. Now, is it going to be $10, $50, $100? I don't know. And is it going to be a buyback? Maybe they're going to do a buyback. Who knows? But at some point, from what I kind of believe, as people have said, we weren't supposed to have XRP. It's going to be a part of the institutional money. So in order to get it from us, they're going to give us an opportunity to sell it back. And now hopefully it's going to be a lot of money, but I don't really see 500,000. That's just way out of range to me, but I don't see 39 cents. 50 bucks, $100, $1,000, that would be cool.
I heard Emily say that gold, the hard currency, like the gold and silver commodities, have to RV first before
yes.
Crypto. Why is that?
I kind of agree with that because everything is going to be asset backed. Even the rainbow currency, XRP. I want to show you something real quick. I want to share my screen. So I know you remember seeing this chart, right?
Yeah.
So this was the original ISO chart back, last year before last, it came out, and it was the first 5 ISO 222 tokens. And you can see here on the top, Ripple is backed by gold, Stellar silver, XDC copper, Algo, palladium, iota, iridium. 1-to-1, it says. So when these assets or these metals, are going to revalue and go first, then everything else is going to follow suit. You know, the
Okay.
rainbow currency when it comes out, and they, you know, I think they're mirror imaging all our bank accounts anyway, you know, with the Swift versus the new QFS. So you have 50, 100 grand or whatever you got in the bank, you know, I think it's going to mirror over to the new QFS under rainbow currency. But you're going to be able to, you know, if you have these tokens as well, or the lobster stuff, you know, it's all gonna revalue it, you know, after the metals. I kind of agree with that. Let me show you one more. So we had those first five, and then they came out with this one. So they moved it to a top 10. And what they added was Constellation, Casper, Hedera, Quant, and LCX, and now it became the top 10. So, you know, they keep adding tokens to this. Well, now they've added four more. And let me find the new list here.
I'm sure they each have a different utility. You see the
They do.
utilities? Yeah.
They do.
Cross border.
They do.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. And I think this is it here. So this is the new one. So the new ones on this list is
Solo is on there. Good.
Yeah. So Energy Web is new, Alliance Block is new, Sologenic is new, and Corium is new. So these are the new top 14 ISO, and I haven't seen a newer one, you know, than this. But yeah, and I was gonna share one more thing here. So I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah. So this is the newest of the new.
These are all ISO considered ISO coins. Oh,
yes,
wow.
ISO 222 compliant.
I want to post this to my thing. This is good.
Yeah. I will. I'll send you the picture after the call. But I was going to show you one more thing. This last coin that's on there, Corium.
Yeah.
They actually have a airdrop happening this Friday on the 24th. And I don't know if people want to get into it or not. I just thought I would share it just in case. But it's basically what it's doing. Their coin is going to be called Core, and they are going to their own cryptocurrency. They're going to have their own blockchain, basically. And right now, they're actually using the XRP mainnet. Their coin is residing on the XRPL. But what they're going to be doing after the 24th is they're going to be merging all those tokens over to the Corium mainnet. But I was going to give you some information here. So this is happening on the 24th, and everyone that's holding core tokens now, you're going to get like a 1-to-1. So like if you're holding 1,000 core, you're going to get, I think, another 1,000 core.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're going to pay out on these dates here: April, June, August, and November, all in this year.
It just drops right into your wallet automatically. You got to claim it. You don't have to.
Well, the thing you got to have a wallet that is XRPL eligible. Like you can do it on what is the little thumb drive that everybody has.
The Ledger.
Yeah, it works with Ledger. I actually have mine on the Zoom wallet, the XUMM.
Yeah.
So if you have Corium, Solo, and XRP kind of all in that same, you know, wallet, all of it's going to happen together. So even if you're holding Solo, you're going to get tokens. You're actually going to get X core tokens, they call it. And then if you're holding XRP, you're going to get X core. But later on, what they said is all of those X cores, you could eventually trade them to Corium. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I finally did this. Colin, it was like, just download. I didn't want to have like another wallet. It was like, how many wallets am I going to have? But then I got the Solo Dex. You see this? Yeah. It's called Solo Dex.
Yeah, and you can do it on Solo Dex too.
Yeah, that's how I did it. And it was easy. It was super easy to do.
Yeah.
Just very, very intuitive, and you could just follow the steps of the prompts.
So do you have Corium on there?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'm going to check. Yeah, I
so
have some.
Do you have the X Core trust line open? So you need to do that. That's the one thing you need to do.
How does one do that?
I'll
help me out.
Yeah, I'll send. Okay. So if you basically get on the website and go to the Sologenic website, there's a search bar. You type in the Corium airdrop. You just need to add a trust line. You go to I forget on Solo how you do it. I did it on Zoom, but you basically go to their main page, and there's a list of coins that are out there on the XRPL. You go find the X Core, and you pull it in and you just open the trust line. You're not buying the tokens. You're just opening the trust line.
I'll figure it out.
I think it costs 10 XRP to open it. But once you have X Core, then when these snapshots happen, you're gonna get these.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gonna figure that out tonight.
So it's the
I can do that on
24th.
the solo. I can do that on the solo wallet, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll send you the instructions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. And I'll put the link in the video below if anybody's interested.
Awesome.
Because I know
Thank you,
it's coming around like 2 days. So if you're gonna do it, you better
this
get
is
on
great,
it.
great information. Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else on the financial side of things that I missed? What am I missing? I mean, the financial I know is important for me and you both. And
I'll just say this, Tracy, just my opinion, that I think that one side is like Team XLM and Team XRP, and it's just like created this competitive vibe just for sport. I think it just keeps things interesting and exciting.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's going to be so much wealth that we're going to look back and feel silly for even having these conversations. I think
right.
it's good. I think we should all just remember to, keep it fun and light and friendly, and
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah, I don't believe in hating people and the hate speech and all that stuff. But I think they're both going to do well. And I think all the 14 tokens on that list are going to do well. I mean, they're going to have their own place in the new financial system. So they're picking them for a reason. They're not just going to go by the wayside like some of these junk coins that we see, these 3,500 tokens that are out there.
Oh yeah, I think there's only going to be the ISO coins that make it through.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And all the lobster stuff.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, lobster is going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's change gears and go to some spiritual side of things. So there's also been a lot of talk here lately, and you being a Jewish woman, me being a non-Jewish man, I hear a lot of smack talk about the Jews in general. In a lot of these calls, it's like sometimes I just turn it off because I'm tired of hearing it. I'm not like a lot of Christian people. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I believe that the Jewish people have their own faith with God. They've always had it. You guys have a covenant through Abraham and the laws, the Torah. I believe all that, but for someone to come out on some of these shows and just say all Jews are bad is just totally ridiculous. I mean, because when I pick up my Bible, all I read is about his heroes in the Bible, and they're all Jewish, most of them. Before, at least the ones after Abraham. The ones before, I don't know, I guess you could call them Gentile, but they all had a relationship with God. That was the main thing. So they're important people. So I don't see how anyone could throw all the Jews in one bucket and say all Jews are bad. Share your thoughts on that.
Well, I'm actually going to quote Mel Carmine, because I've had a lot of amazing feedback from really beautiful people saying, I can't believe this kind of speech is going on, and so many people are going along with it and just nodding their head. And Mel Carmine says to me so simply, he goes, there's bad Italians, there's bad Christians, there's bad Muslims. You can't say bad about any one group. That's because that's, very three-dimensional. That's the world that we're trying to leave.
Right.
So what scares me, Tracy, I'll tell you very honestly, is that these same people that I'm taking all this lobster from, information from, and trusting them with these investments, it kind of makes me feel nervous that they're the same people being very ignorant about this kind of talk. I don't know if it's shaken you at all about trusting them.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But is it going to kill us if we lose all our lobster?
No, it won't. That's what I say to myself. It was such a small investment to get so many tokens, and it was a fun ride, even if it ends up being not what we thought.
No, I mean, I kind of believe it. I mean, not kind of, I really believe it, because
I also really believe it.
I believe all the seized assets and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They've already got them all lined up, country by country.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And that's the reason I'm still on those chats, even though they're pretty horrible. And I just really appreciate you speaking out and saying that in defense of, the Jewish people. And what's really hurtful is that like they get us from every angle. They're like, talking about how the Balfour Declaration is going to revert back. It's going to be nullified and canceled, and Israel is going to be given back to who, I don't know who, given back to other people, and so that's hurtful. And then there's the Holocaust denial, which, I come from Holocaust survivors. So, and there's so much documentation and eyewitness testimony that
It says it in the
and
Bible. 6 million Jews. It says it in the Bible.
And aside from that, Trace, is like, if you're going to minimize a genocide, I don't care what genocide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't minimize anyone's genocide. Just be
No.
compassionate and say, even if the numbers are different, or even if we were lied to about certain aspects, but to come out and just and be so inhumane like that, and not understand that people are carrying a legacy of losing their whole families wiped out. It's all of my community has multiple, relatives, and it's just very painful to hear the Holocaust denial, to hear that about the Balfour Declaration, and then to hear that the icing on the cake, which is the ultimate gaslight, that I hear that the Jews of today, the Ashkenazi Jews, are not the real Jews. I'm like, we have a Masorah, it's called, Tracy, which is like, we've passed this Torah down for 3,000 years and we haven't let it go. So I don't know what the aim is by saying that, if not to just cause more confusion and more.
I just don't think people care. I don't think people care to look into it. I looked into it. I've studied it. I understand it. I believe it.
What do you believe?
Well, I believe we're under one creator. I mean, we all have that common ground, but I know you guys were totally different. You had your own relationship with God. You guys have been looking for Messiah. You have a specific list of things that Messiah, you believe that Messiah is going to do when he comes to town. And, a lot of people say, well, they discounted Jesus. Well, you know what? Maybe Jesus wasn't that guy at the time. Maybe he didn't check off all the boxes according to your law. And he didn't. He come into town.
I happen to think the people weren't ready at that time.
Could have been.
And that's a very radical thing for a Jewish person to say. I get in trouble for that. But I think he might have had the potential, but I don't think the people were at all by a long shot ready for the Messiah.
You know what he was fighting in his day? The same BS that we're fighting today.
Oh, it's
evil, satanic, the Romans.
The money changers, you know what I mean? It was always about the money. Always the evil.
He was a rebel. He came in and flipped over the table of the money changers. Yeah, he had it going on. Jesus was the man.
And as a Jewish person, I say I do think he was misunderstood, and I think the narrative. I always say this: the narrative was distorted in both directions. That the Jews vilified him, made him a villain, and that the Christians made him a deity. And I always thought that we're supposed to go directly to God and not through a middleman. And that's how I see Jesus was distorted in both ways.
I agree with that. So I do not believe, and people, you can hate me, like me, love me, whatever you want to believe. I don't think Jesus is God. Now, Christians will tell you different, and that's a big statement. But Jesus, to me, is not God. God is God. Right. Jesus even said, pray to God in this manner. And he says the Lord's Prayer, right?
I think Jesus would be devastated to when he sees people using him as interchangeable with God. I think that's devastating to him. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe, one of the great luminaries who just died, maybe 20 years ago, maybe less, he said that Jesus has, I don't know the translation for this, but a klipa on him, where it's like he can't get out of this, what was done to him. His soul is kind of suffering because his legacy was so distorted for everybody, for the masses. So it kind of hurts my heart, because who I believe about Jesus is Dolores Cannon, because she's so neutral. She regresses people. They come forward in a state of total hypnosis and don't even remember when they wake up one word that they said, and they say how they lived in Jesus's time, had interactions with him, and how he was just a light being, how when they were in his presence, they felt so much love. And he would go to the leper colonies where nobody would go. He would
Yeah.
lay hands on them and
Yeah.
he would heal them. And he would say, if they get healed, fine. If they don't get healed, that's God's will. He was, I think his story was just so badly distorted by the V place.
It was. I mean, he was, I mean, if you think about back in that day, there was a temple and you had the Romans ruling the space over there, so to speak. But then they had to allow the Jewish people to be able to worship in the temple.
Right.
But they also had to communicate to the leaders of the temple of that day, which is Pharisees, Sadducees, whatever. And some of those guys maybe had a little bit of bad dealings too. Maybe they weren't all sparkly and shiny like we all think they were,
Right.
because that's where a lot of that, the trial and everything else happened. And but no, I think Jesus came on the scene and he was all 100% heart. He was 100% light. He had the power to heal. He had the power to do this, power to do that. And I think he had a plan. But I think it just got, because of all of the BS going on in the world, just like it is today, it got twisted. So that's where I'm coming from. And you're gonna make me go here. I wasn't gonna do this, but
Go.
do it. Go ahead and talk. I'm pulling up a little thing from the Bible.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
It's
I'm
New
gonna
Testament,
say,
actually.
okay.
It's actually Jesus talking too, and you're gonna like it. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's in the book of John.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't kill me for reading New Testament scripture to a Jewish woman, but it's basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Jesus is talking to a lady from Samaria. She's a Gentile. She's not a Jew. And they're talking about a well and water and drinking living water and this sort of thing. And this is the King James version. So it's kind of, older sounding, but kind of cool. I like it. But he basically, asked the lady for water, and she said something to the fact that, she's never been married. And he basically said, well, you've had 5 wives. And she was like, well, you must be a prophet. But anyway, it says here, Jesus says, go call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers, this is still the lady talking, our fathers worshiped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Ooh.
That was Jesus. Mic drop. Boom. How about
I've
that?
never heard that.
Yeah. He says, we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But let me finish what he was saying. It's pretty cool. He says, but the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah. I thought you'd like it. I remember hearing it a while back.
I never heard anything, and they're hiding that one right now. Jason Q is not going to be quoting that.
We're going to talk about some other stuff they're hiding, but
interesting.
Yeah, spiritual stuff. I thought that would, I'm glad you cleared the air about the Jewish people, because I do think the Jewish people are getting trodden upon in a severe way.
Thank you for having that discernment and that ignorance meter. It's
sick of it.
It just shocks me, because if it was any other group, the test is to like insert a different name of a group, like insert Chinese people or Black people, and will that fly for a second? No.
No, it would not. All right. So we're going to wrap this call up, but we're going to wrap it up with, I guess, in a good positive vibe way.
Let's do it.
Everybody knows we're going to this new future quantum reality, right? We're all getting there. But just like you said earlier, how are we going to get there? You know, what's it going to be like? What are we going to do? But just a quick reminder, I jotted some things down, you know, talking about the quantum voting. That's going to be a cool thing in the future. You know, we got, you know, in other countries it's different, but here we have Democrat versus Republican. We have illegal voting systems. All that's going to be gone, you know, in all countries, you know, and they're doing the same BS with these voting machines everywhere in other countries. I have people I work with who are from Ecuador and from Peru, and they tell me the same thing. Everybody I talked to voted for this guy, but this other stupid person got it. Turns out they have the same voting systems we have. Imagine that. Quantum voting system's coming, and it's going to be great. The old money system is going to be gone. The Fed, SWIFT, fiat currency, satanic Rothschild money system is replaced with asset-backed rainbow currency and ISO 222 compliant tokens. It's going to be great. Banks will be gone. No more banks. Who's going to be the bank? You're going to be the bank. You, me, everybody's going to be their own bank. And think about people who have never had a bank account in their life. They're going to be a bank.
Yep.
People in Africa have never had a phone, never had a bank account. They're going to have a bank account. It's going to be good. Electric bills, water bills, energy bills, all replaced by Tesla-free energy technologies. It's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. Here's a big one. Big pharma, hospitals, the thing they put in your arm, not just the current one. I'm talking all of them, all of them
All of them
have been BS, and they've been bad for our system. The medical insurance agenda, all of that replaced by the med beds and 6,000 suppressed cures and technologies. How about that?
I'm ready, Trace. I feel so ready.
Mockingbird internet controlled by the cabal, replaced by free worldwide Starlink satellite internet. That's going to work on your little Q phone that we're all going to get. Here's a cool one. Old borders, old country borders and leaders replaced by new borders with new border leaders or kings. So I don't know if you've heard this, but like they may even redo all the map. America, North America, South America, Canada might be its own area, and Trump could be over it. Same with Putin, same with Xi, same with Modi. They're going to be kings.
I saw what you posted today. The extraterrestrial just means that was mind opening. I shared that.
Extra land.
Extra land.
That's right. That's right. How about no more weather manipulation / HARP?
Right. That'd be nice.
That crap's been going on forever. I mean,
it's not meant to be this
super freeze here in Texas. We shouldn't have got.
No.
How about all the freaking hurricanes that are coming off of Africa? It's BS. We're tired of it. Many years of bondage, oppression, and debt slavery replaced with Nasara Jasara and the new golden age.
Amen.
That's what I'm ready for.
I'm ready.
That's what I'm really ready for. How about no more chemical spraying or chemtrails? This is never going to make it to YouTube. Better food options, better water, cleaner air, no more war, child, human, and drug trafficking. Gone. Imagine that. Imagine watching the 6 o'clock news every night and all you hear about, hey, Gila Jed's doing a new humanitarian project down at the blah, blah, blah. That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Instead of hearing about all the BS we're hearing about.
Yeah.
Will we learn we will learn the real truth about our world, our history, and our planet. Because we've had a lot of stuff that we have been deceived about, lied to, and not told about. And the last thing is 66 books of the Bible replaced by 777 books of the Bible. That's going to be amazing, because I think in that we're going to find out a lot about, you know, the real truth. You know, people think they know the real truth. We only know kind of what we've been told and what we've learned in our little life, but imagine getting 80% more information about God and everything else.
Well, you started telling me, I don't know if you want to go here for a second, that you have a friend you speak to every day
I do.
that said that some of the, we won't name names, but some of the very outspoken anti Judaism people, that they're way off, like the anti-Ashkenazi narrative and the Holocaust denial narrative, even though he's been invited on a weekly panel on our favorite channels, your friend said what?
He just basically said that there it's just a bunch of baloney what they're saying. I mean, even though some of those people on the panel are highly intelligent, they've done a lot of research, they know their stuff about certain things, but and I could say that about a lot of people. I mean, look at Charlie Ward, for example. He knows more about money and the QFS, but he doesn't really know about XRP and XLM and lobster. He doesn't know. That's why he brings Emily on to talk about it.
Right.
It's not to say he doesn't believe in it, but he's just not a specialist. I think that can go for other people. You may have Jedi masters in certain things, but they just totally clueless about other things.
And you know what, Trace? I think controlled opposition, how they're smart about it is that they give 90% truth or 95% truth. That's how they get the masses, and then they just sprinkle in, the lies with it, and then all of it is consumed.
Well, it was like I don't know, about a year ago, you had Big 107, who everybody says is a pretty good dude, and he comes out and says Nassar Jassar is a joke, and he just totally threw a big old monkey wrench in the whole thing, and we're just like scratching our head. Why would you say that? Why would you do that?
It's so upsetting. It's like throws you off for days. And you know what happened? I just, at those times, I've learned to just zoom out. I like my consciousness is like, okay, I just go further out. I like listen to some galactic conversations, or I just have to get out of the financial conversation for a while, because I get over psyoped. I'm getting psyoped from the right and from the left, and I just can't take it anymore
Well,
sometimes.
that what happened with him happened to me this week with these conversations about XRP and XLM. I mean, I think it's ridiculous.
Right. Oh, you
I mean,
had
we,
that
we don't
family.
know. We don't know everything. I'm not in an inner circle with somebody on the QFS or somebody at the Pentagon or some inner circle with Trump himself. I'm not. I just try to make the best judgment in my heart from what I hear and try to extract the truth from all of it. But some of it's got to stop. I mean, we can't fight as
Oh,
truthers. I mean, we're getting so close to the end. We need to join hands and hold hands tighter and harder and longer, more than ever, because these guys that are fighting the fight, they need our prayers more than anything. I mean, they are fighting like you would believe with their
ah,
life. So they need our prayers more than anything. And the last thing they want to hear about is these guys are really over here arguing amongst themselves. What?
right.
You know,
Right.
it's
It's the
ridiculous.
least, right. It's the least we could do is just maintain the peace here
Yes.
while they do the legwork.
Yeah. What did we miss? We covered a lot of stuff. You want to close us out? Give us some good old Gila Jed positive vibe here before we close it out.
I just wanna say that I want to actually make a video about this maybe tomorrow or the next day, that I keep getting prompted by the universe to make a video about a chapter in my book called Do All Things with Love. And that's really the mission. We get so caught up in what's going to be our mission and what is my mission now. The mission is really just to hold the frequency of God, so God himself can drop down and manifest in our reality. That's what we all want. We want to feel more God in our bodies, in our system, in the universe, in the air. We want to feel the peace, the unity, the exhilaration, the fun, the laughter, all the things, all the different frequencies that's the bandwidth of God. We want to feel that inside our bodies. So the more that we can be a receiver for the energy of God and use our hearts and our brains in coherence, think the good thoughts, do everything not in a rush, be slow, be present, be patient, be loving. I find that when my day is like that, then we're matching the frequency, we're being the change that we want to see. And like when it's the Maharishi effect that we hear about, when there's just, I think, 1% of us doing this, the whole thing can pop off. So
I kind of feel that too. I mean, I feel like, I know what I need to be doing in my life that's right and real and what I should be doing. And when I feel like I do that, I feel like good things happen. But
Yeah.
if I ever just decide one day, you know what, I don't want to do none of that today. I just want to do what I want to do. Things may not go my way. The bad things might happen, you know, just God forbid something bad's going to happen. But I'm just saying it. I see what you're saying. It's, you need to follow your heart, and you do, because it even says it in the Bible, we were made in the image of God. So let's channel it. Let's let it come
Yeah,
in.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yep. I agree. All right. Well, we can't wait 6 months to do another video. That was too long.
No,
Because
hopefully we meet
there's a
in
lot that's
person.
going to happen in the next couple of months. So we may
Oh,
need to do
please.
a quicker checkup next time.
I'd love to.
But it's good talking to you, and I'm glad you came back on, and congratulations again on your new addition to your family.
Avery.
That's right. That's cool. And my son's named Avery too. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right. See you guys.